and in secondary schools across the country. As usual, chaotic scenes were witnessed yesterday as parents rushed to buy school items from specific outlets. And as Mercy Kandia found out, some of these outlets enjoy the favor of schools, meaning parents have little choice over where to do their shopping, hence their necessary long queues.
They were here early morning. Even then, they say the queues were still long. Not because they failed to plan for this day, but because the schools and shops they went to referred them here. The school outfitters. It was not a simple suggestion. The letters of admission bore the directive on where to buy the required school items, so they all found themselves here.
Mikakatikani iko katika hizi shule na hii muhindi wa hii inaitwa nini? Hii school outfitters walipanga nini ndio walikatuma sisi wazazi wote tukuje hapa. Tunapanga laini kama tunatafuta kazi ya jeshi hapa. Nipepe pesa yangu, niletee mtu anipe uniform na nipange laini all the way kutoka saa 2 hapa mpaka saa hii.
Once in a while, the long wait would lead to impatience and a scuffle at the entrance. All this in a bid to prepare their children for the school opening day on Tuesday.
This monopoly is also making things hard for us because even the equipment, the uniform here, seem to be very expensive.
Na nimepewa kwamba either ingie tarehe 9 na tarehe 10 mwisho. Sasa nitakuwa na line yangu amepanga mwisho, yeye ndio wa mwisho huko. Nitameki niingie nitafuta uniform na nimeki kesho shule. Tafadhali sisi uniform iende shule.
With Form 1 students reporting to their new schools this week, these are just some of the challenges that parents have to contend with. They say it would be easier if the buying of school items was not restricted to one particular shop, but who will hear their cries for help?
I cannot make it to buy uniforms, and I was given 3 days leave to buy Espanya shopping today. Tomorrow nipeleke mtoto shule. Kesho ingine nirudi Kisii niende kazini.
Tuesday morning is reporting day for Form 1s joining national schools. These frustrated parents still have to raise the 53,000 shillings annual fee per child for those joining boarding schools. That's the maximum fee set for national and extra-county schools in Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru, Kisumu and Eldoret. Those joining other boarding schools will have to pay 40,545 shillings for the year.
Thank you very much, Mercy Kandia. I am now joined by the National Association of Parents in Kenya, Mr. Nicholas Mayo, just to take us through what really is happening here. Nicholas, good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome. It appears like parents were given very little notice. Look at the clogging at the shop fronts and all the rest.
Not really. It's only that Kenyans like the last minute rush. Otherwise, admission letters were given out online early enough. So I'll call upon the parents, since they had enough time to prepare, they should have gone to those places to pick the wares for their children.
Why must parents always have to go to particular places to get uniforms or supplies for schools?
In fact, as Parents Association, we wouldn't like parents to have long queues buying their uniform and the wares that their children need. We would like, as Parents Association, to have a wider selection. Maybe the school can identify more than 5 places.
So it would be ideal for schools to identify points where parents can get supplies?
Yes.
Why? Can't parents just be given a sample and they look for it from wherever? Yeah,
it's the same. If a school gives out a sample of uniform from school to a particular place, and those places are a bit, about 5 or even more than 5, that will be better than what we witnessed yesterday when we saw it aired by Citizen TV.
So this is tantamount to poor planning, in your words?
Yeah, actually it's the problem of Kenyans, because they like the last minute rush. They're waiting for 9th, which is tomorrow. I mean today.
Which is actually
today. So 8th was yesterday. That is why they were rushing. Otherwise, it's supposed to be as soon as you get your letter, We organize.
Start the process.
Yes.
All right. Now, we have seen in our story by Mercy Kandia about the fee guidelines for various categories of high schools across the country. But of course, there has been the hue and cry about schools charging extra levies despite the government giving strict guidelines. Yeah, in fact, as an association, we are against it. We want our teachers, principals, and head teachers strictly to follow the fees guideline provided by the ministry. National schools should charge 53,554. Extra count is 40,545. But of course, there are extra counties in certain towns, Nairobi, yes. Mombasa, Kisumu. 53,000. Yes. And then the county schools and the district schools, 40,000. That is if they are boarding. In the day schools, they will not pay anything, only that they will provide for lunch and uniform. Who? For the school or the parents? The parents. The parents. Yes. So that means they have to pay for the lunch program. Yeah. The lunch program actually is a private arrangement between the service provider and the parent. That is the association of parents in that school. From my understanding, you as parents do not want any extra charges. Would a principal or a board just wake up one day and impose charges on parents? No. It's not possible? It's not possible. So any charges that are levied in schools have the approval of parents? Yes, it's supposed to be that way. Every extra levy, maybe for expansion of schools or building of a library or a sanatorium, something like that, it should be approved by the parents. If not approved, it's illegal. And as part of the association, I will urge my fellow parents that they should follow the legal procedure. Which is? Which is, you sit down in a parents' meeting during your assembly and talk over it. After you passed that we will levy maybe 2,000, they will take it to sub-county director for approval, then the county director for approval, before it comes to the Minister of Education for also approval. Without approval, it's illegal. And you will only charge what is there in the fees guideline. Now, there is this trend of disgruntled parents or parents who do not attend these meetings coming up and saying, we did not approve. Is there anything the law says about what number of parents should approve any levies? Yeah, for every meeting, there must be a quorum. And if some parents come for meetings and they approve, those ones who didn't come have to abide by. Yeah, they'll abide by the law that were passed by these fellow parents. Now, Banamayo, what do you understand by the third schedule of the Basic Education Act of 2013 that talks about what parents should provide? It says parents should provide, should look for ways and means of supporting the nutritional well-being of their children, ensure that they do everything possible to improve on the academic performance of their children, including, so I don't know the right word that is used, but it's something about motivating teachers. Yes. That is how does the law clash here with the ministry's regulation that was reviewed in 2016? It actually allows parents to deliberate on an issue, after which they will resolve that we want it this way. And once it has been passed by the parents, it has to go through the ministry for it to be also approved. Then after approval by the ministry, then the deal has been done. What happens in a situation where parents want probably to put up a building, yes. They approve it in their AGM, maybe 90% approval, it does not get approval from the ministry or the relevant authorities. And yet the law allows them to chip in, look for funds and contribute in the well-being of their children. Maybe there is no dormitory, maybe yes. There is no hall, and they feel we want this. The law in the third schedule, that is in part 6C, says that discuss, explore, and advise parents on ways to raise funds for physical development and maintenance. That is, if they want to build a dormitory, for example, maybe the influx of children
because the school has been
expanding.
And there's a tendency in Kenya that when a school does well,
everybody wants
to go to that place. That is why you had the CSO saying he received almost 500 parents who want the same school. That is why the government now is trying to bring up these other schools so that we have amenities and physical structures in every school. For parents not to look for only one particular school. Yes.
So if I got you right, Bwana Maiyo,
yes,
parents are allowed by law to raise funds for the improvement of the well-being of their children.
Yes.
What they have to do is get together in an assembly, approve this, and seek the consent of the ministry.
That is it.
Thank you very much. What about the issue of parents' contribution to the success of their children? We saw recently in a number of schools an upsurge of demonstrations and teachers being attacked for poor performance. Who is responsible for the performance of a child?
It actually has to be a partnership between the teacher, the student, and the parent. A research was done, and we found out that 25% belongs to the parent.
25%?
Yes. Another 25% belongs to the teacher, and 50% goes to the child. So we need to have a partnership.
So what you're saying in a nutshell is that parents and teachers have equal share contribution
exactly.
in the success and failure, or
that
failure.
Yes, that is disciplined, the success of a child in academics. The parents have to play a role. They are equally important. They have the same share with the teacher. And 50% goes to the child. And that will make it 100%. So if a situation whereby a school does poorly, and parents happen to wake up in the morning after hearing that their school, the first child got maybe 200 marks, they will pluck a twig in the compound and goes to school for demonstration. That is illegal. And as Parents Association, we have the procedures to follow. The first thing those parents should do is write a memorandum that, one, teachers have been, the head teacher or the teachers have stayed in this school maybe more than 25 years, or 20 years, or 15 years. Secondly, this school has been performing poorly for a period of time. Then that one will allow us now as Parents Association, after a particular school has written a memorandum, pass it to sub-county director, and they'll bring it to us now in the headquarters. And we will write to petition the CEO of TSC to take action on the teachers who may be
underperforming,
overstaying for a period of time,
or mismanaging
the school, or even when they defile our children. Yes.
Now, tell me about the issue of supplies to schools, textbooks, and other facilities that are used for tuitions. As parents, what do you understand from the government program, free secondary education or free day secondary education?
We came to...
I'm asking that because there are parents who are out there saying education is free, and so they should not be charged for anything.
Yeah, I know. In fact, even yesterday, I was told by a friend, a parent, who said that there was a parent who took a child to school, that is in the morning. And this school is a boarding school. Then the parent left the child in the school and went out of the school. He disappeared out in the woods because
education is free.
Then somebody was, they called him, and the teachers were calling him. Why? You have to provide for the food and uniform for the child. They said no. The government has said it is free education. So I think, Viambo, it is a misunderstanding. We need to empower the parents to know that free day secondary school is possible in Kenya. And the word free education actually is the components of education, not uniform and not
the upkeep.
The upkeep.
Not the boarding wing.
Yes, that is actually a luxury. And it's the work of the parent. It is actually our mandate to buy uniform for our children. Even those who have not gone to school, the parent also has to take care, to feed and clothe the child. So that is our mandate. When a child has attained the school age, we'll also buy uniform for them and provide the upkeep in school, in the boarding school.
Now finally, do you have forums where you get to meet your members as parents and share this kind of information? Because clearly there's a lack of information among the parents. That's why they attack schools and teachers. That's why they complain about levies, even when a general meeting approved it. And that's where some of them still misunderstand free-day secondary education and all the rest.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mr. Odhiambo, that we still need to empower and sensitize our parents on the same. Other schools, we have parents who know what they do, and others are yet to be empowered to know exactly their roles as a parents, their mandate as a parents, and the partnership that we have to have in the third schedule. Because when you see in the third schedule, it also talks about good management and relationship between the teacher and the parent. That is in 5B, maintain good working relationship between teachers and parents. Yes, it is also in the third schedule. So
the mandate of parents is clearly elaborated in the law,
yes,
and it's provided for in the law,
yes,
what they need to do and what their responsibilities are.
Exactly.
Probably as we finish, Bwana Maio, what's the take of parents as far as the recent transfers of head teachers are concerned across the country?
As Parents Association, we are law-abiding citizens, and we know that these teachers, when they were writing when they were seeking for employment, they had to sign some agreement with their employer.
That they are ready to work anywhere.
They are ready to work anywhere in the country. That is TSC. And these teachers actually signed that they will work anywhere in the country. So I don't think it will be prudent for us as parents, since we know the law, not to support the TSC by, in fact, as parents, it's overdue. Parents have been calling for transfers of teachers for maybe 3 years now. And the reasons why parents want teachers transferred is that when a teacher stays in a station for a long time, you know, maybe he will work to advantage of a particular.
They get complacent.
Individual. Maybe there's an influential person in that area, and teachers actually are supposed to work for every parent, not a particular parent. So if they overstay, that tendency will develop. They
will work to the advantage of one particular person and not the larger majority.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Bwana Maio. It was a pleasure. The insights you've given now, you have to get that right. Parents have 25% contribution in the success of or failure of their children in school. Teachers have an equal share, 25%, and the students have 50%. Bwana Nicholas Maio, always a pleasure having you champion the cause of our children.
Thank you so much.
Now we'll be taking a short commercial break. When we come back, we will be talking to Mr. Robert Pavel, the Director General Energy Regulatory Commission, as we look at the upsurge in the price of energy in the country.